So, how is everyone feeling? You're like food coma here, you're gonna sleep, you're gonna take a cozy nap. No! Wake up. I mean it. It's gonna be rough. No, I'm joking. So I'm gonna talk about something that wonders everyone. You know, like nowadays we work really fast. You know, people expect us to deliver things really fast. You know, we need to prove our values of designers as businesses to survive. So, but how do we actually do this? How do we actually observe this, analyze this, and design the way we work? I'm going to talk about in this talk, design fast and work slower. I'm going to talk about something I experienced in my career, something I was diagnosed with. I'm going to talk about how that happened. I'm going to talk about my diagnosis, and I'm going to tell you the recipe, the treatment for it. And I hope everyone will benefit that. So before we begin, how many are you are designers? Quite a lot, okay. But this is for everyone, just so you know. This is not for designers only. This is for everyone in the company. So I was diagnosed as an unhappy designer. It was very serious. And my condition was, I had some symptoms. So I'll just go through with you. I had minimal empathy to my customers. I had no idea what they were feeling, what they were going through. I was misaligned with my team. We had different opinions. We knew that we wanted to go some direction, but we wanted to design different things. We were lacking trust in the team, so I wasn't trusting my team members. I thought I was better than them, and they were probably thinking the same thing for me. And there was the highest paid person's opinion, which is, you know, CXOs or your boss or someone that knew design better than you do, and their opinion worth more than your opinion. And I was designing things that should be better than how it is, so I was working really, really hard, and in the end, I had a burnout. So, how many of you have experiencing this? Yeah, some. Are you feeling sick now? Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, okay. So what do you do? Okay, everybody's experiencing in some way. There is a cure. There's a recipe. And this recipe is about playing design as a team sport. That's the first thing that you need to do. What do I mean by design by team sport? And also, not everyone is a designer, why you should care. It's actually wrong that you need to care for this, because in the modern society, co-creation is our biggest tool. Creating something together, striving for something better, is our biggest tool right now that we're working with. And we need to embrace this tool. So I want to break this down, and I'm going to go through this recipe. So the first thing, I think everybody's hearing over and over again, but I will repeat. You need to do your studies. You need to understand who you're catering for. You need to understand who is your customer, what are this customer wanting to do, and you need to understand the job that your product's trying to tackle. So I'm going to try to give you a small example of what a job is. Maybe somebody knows about this job stories. Maybe somebody have worked with it. In Valley, I see smiling faces, they know it. Yeah, Steve Jobs have done this. So, a simple example for you as a job. Think about the drill. You know, everybody has a drill, or maybe you don't have a drill. Good for you. Because there's a simple reason why you don't have a drill. You probably need to make a hole on the wall and then you need to put a nail, and then you need to hang something. How many times do you do that? Not much. You borrow from your friend or whatever, and then you make the job done, right? So what's happening with these drill companies? What are they trying to do now? They understand that their job is limited. If you look at Black & Decker right now, they're making corkscrew openers. They're making like light torches or stuff like that. That things that you're not supposed to do with a drill. They're doing this because they understood that their job was limited for a consumer. Now they're understanding that they need to change this perception about the drill. What about your product? Do you know really what your customer is using for? In the wild, you think that they do, but really. So my biggest suggestion is like get a user researcher in your group. Understand what your customer is trying to do, and follow up. Do the tests. Do usability test, good research. You need this. Okay, I'll jump to the second one. And design sprints. I think you heard this term before as well. I mean, a lot of people are articulating what design is and how we should work with design and how should we collaborate. This is a perfect platform, I will say. Design sprint, in essential, is a process that has been named from Google Ventures. Maybe you heard them. And they've been helping out startups, and they've been trying to accelerate their process and get them started by playing design as a team sport. So when you have this simple framework, you include CXOs, specialists, product managers, designers, developers, user researchers, whatever is entitled to be in that design sprint, who is relevant. You put them in the same room, you make a war room, you put them in there, and then you start designing things. And nobody's design is better than any other. Because titles doesn't matter anymore, it's just about insights. So I will break down this design sprint for a bit. So first day is about understanding, which is you understand your user research. You understand your insights, you digest, you make empathy to your customer, you understand what they're doing. You try to understand the problem they're trying to solve in their daily life. So once you understand your job, once you understand what your product's trying to solve, you jump to Tuesday, which is the fun part, in my opinion, is to diverge. It's about putting down ideas on paper, making it quick and dirty, sketching, off one after another, crazy eights, storyboards. Everybody does this. Everyone. Nobody's excused to not to do it in that room. And once you get a hold of it, you go on Wednesday, which is you decide on which ideas to focus on. So everybody gathers on the room, and then you get a red dots, and then you mark which ideas that you like, and then you see a heat map of ideas. And then you see which one everybody's attracted to. And it's not about who sketched better or who designs better. It's about how we solve the insights to the solution. It can be a developer who designs better stuff than I do. I don't mind. And you will not mind as well, because you are a team. You have the common goal to arrive somewhere and tackle together. It's not my job only. It's like you said, user research is not only for researcher, it's for everyone. So, and then on Thursday, then we basically go for prototyping. That's the fun part. Really fast, produce, click through prototypes, whatever you use. And on the 5th day, the prototype goes out, tested on real customers. You get some feedback. In a week, you get an idea, you get a problem, you solve the problem in the end of the week in 5 days. Maybe you didn't, but then you have to do it again. This process is continuous, and you play as a team. One last important thing is 5 days, and deadline makes people productive. A set deadline will make you strive for the end of the week. And in the end of the week, you get a result. Next one, I will say, design principles. This is very essential when you're going to design something really, really fast. You're going to iterate really fast, you're going to run fast. Then as a designer, We need to make sure that things looks good, things looks the same, they act the same. We talk about user experience. How are we going to make sure that a light box appears in there and then there's no light box? There's a burger menu and then there's no burger menu. We need to understand and we need to communicate this. We need to have principles why we are doing these decisions. So in your team, gather kind of like a simple documentation of, colors, buttons, and, we call it UI kit. So just make a documentation of how you're using these patterns and, document well and communicate with your designers. And we call it also atomic design. I'm not going to go through so much in details of it, but, small particles comes together and then, they become organisms. They come together and, they make a foundation of your design. It's not just visuals. It's the logic. And you start from the very minimum of it. And if you have doubts if you don't find anything in your UI kit, then you must have principles. Your product has to be easy, flexible, fast. How you solve this new challenge then? Document it. And the last one is my favorite one. It's care for yourself and others. You don't see in anyone in the design community lately about talking about yourself, how you handle yourself during the workday. We always talk about, increasing conversion rates. We talk about, having awesome products out. But who makes these products? We humans. I mean, I'm not replaced with a bot yet, hopefully, for a while. But we need to care for ourselves. Like, we need to understand how our body, how our mind is working. We need to care for our sanity, what we're striving for. We need to care for our family and friends. We need to set this place right. And then you can care for your teammates. You can care for other people, for your customers. You need to take care for yourself. And one important tip is to set goals every day, personally. When you wake up, what are you going to do at the end of the day? If you don't count that, things go really fast, and you lose your youth really fast. So, 5 principles. Design is a team sport. Use research for insights, design sprints, design principles, and care for yourself and others. It's very simple. Simple, yet hard to do. Yet we're not there yet. Yet it's easy to forget. So, you have to follow this recipe. You can't just drop out from medicine and expect that you get cured. You have to follow up. I see people are in coma right now. That's what I said, it was going to be rough. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, I have 6 minutes for questions. Nobody does that. Should. Nothing? Seriously?
When you say diverge, how do you implement it? When you say diverge, how do you implement that diverge?
Diverge, okay. So on Friday, I have a workshop on design sprints. It's full. Unfortunately, I cannot host more than 22 people. It's already booked. But I'm going to break it down really fast. So diverge means you start with an idea, right? You have an idea to put down on the paper. So we start with crazy 8s. So you have a block of paper, you divide it into 8 cells, and you just put down an idea, a really fast, dirty one. And then on the next phase, you call it storyboard. It's like a cartoon. You try to explain your idea 1 block at a time. It's like you're explaining to a kid. The cat goes to the cave, grabs the mice, and then comes back with a stone. What happens, This kind of like storytelling. And you just put it on the wall. Just your sketches. And that's Diverge. So you need to produce a lot of ideas, but no UI, no sketching like digitally. It's just pen and paper, because ideas begin on pen and paper. Words plus sketch. Then if it's validated in that form, then we can prototype. If everybody liked the idea, if everybody embraced the idea, then we can all run together as a team. Because everybody's aligned after that. Is it clear?
So storytelling is very much part of, is it at every step of your process?
I think, I will say on Tuesday, it's the most crucial place. But design is all about selling, right? You need to tell a story to people to grasp what you're trying to tell them. If you're going to make a prototype, it can't be just a still picture. You need to build an environment around it. You can show a still picture, but you need to build a story around it so that customer understands the context they're going to prototype it. You know, the experience the prototype. So, but on Tuesday, to make your colleagues understand what you're trying to explain, storytelling is very important.
Okay.
Yes, over there.
When you get a bunch of people, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, all right.
When you get a bunch of people in a room together, and a lot of them are not designers.
Right.
I've sometimes found it difficult to get people to just break out of their shell and not care whether they can draw a straight line or not. Do you have any tips?
Yeah, of course. I mean, a lot. You know where it happens? In a pub on Monday evening. That's the best place. You know, the napkins? They start sketching, and that's cheating, but it's okay, you know. They get great ideas on Monday. They cannot even wait for Tuesday, so they like kind of cheat. And you have to let them do that. You know, you have to, everyone has anxiety. And you know, like, when we were kids, we loved playing with toys. We loved role-playing and stuff. And everybody was laughing at it. They wouldn't like, hey man, like, you look like a girl now. Like, you know, those things never existed. But now we built these facades of social norms, and we need to fit in, right? So you need to make sure that the trust in the team exists. You need to build that trust. And you can do it in many ways. So if you have that trust in place, people will not judge you. I work in Scandinavia, in Stockholm, and many of you know Scandinavians, you know, they're very introvert. You know, they don't talk. That's wrong. Once they trust you, they start talking, they won't shut up. I become more introvert next to them as a Turkish guy. So it's about trust. Cool. Who's next? Come on, we have 2.5 minutes. Come on, there must be someone.
After you burn out here,
Yeah, okay.
how did you implement your new ideas into the company? How did you get other people involved in
I
your
did not
ideas?
say I was in the same company.
Oh, you changed company?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. How would
It was a discovery process, man.
Okay.
I'm telling you so that you don't make the same mistake.
All right.
Who else? Come on. Must be curious people. I don't want to give a lecture. I want to answer you, make you interactive. Come on. Okay, you have a question. I see it. It's there. Read that. What was that?
No, that was just some notes.
Okay, all right. All right, then I'm ending it. I guess we're done. Thank you.